Market economy meaning features advantage and disadvantage. Introduction. An economy is usually composed of different players. The economy of a given region basically involves the production, distribution, and consumption of product and service within that area. It entails the activity that people engage in to earn a living. Different types of economics exist. They are namely command, traditional, mixed, and market economics. They all vary in how they functions, with each having its own advantage and disadvantage. A market economy has been favored by many governments because it promotes free trade by allowing the forces of demand and supply to determine the prices of product and service. Like the other types of economics, it has its unique features as well as advantage and disadvantage. Meaning of market economy. When we talk about a market economy, what are we really referring to? A market economy can simply be defined as a free market, one in which there are no outside authorized charge with determining the prices of goods and service or fixing them at a certain amount. In this type of economy, there is very minimal intervention by the government. This would be counterproductive since some parties would be disadvantaged. A market economy allows a free price system in that prices are determined by the interaction of several players within an economy. These intersections are usually between the buyers and sellers. It can also be said that a market economy is a type of economy where comparison between business informs the cost of goods and service. Business fix prices of goods and service based on their need to make profits and the desire to outperform the competition. This is a type of trading environment where the environment makes laws and provides regulation to guide operation but does not interfere with the actual pricing of goods and service. This is left to the market forces. There is unrestricted competition among private enterprises so that their prosperity is determined by how best they can capture customers and increase revenue generation. Every entrepreneur has a shot at success. All these definitions help us to understand the key components of such an economy. It can be seen that it promotes free enterprise and allows business owners to make reasonable profits from their investments. The government namely acts as a supervisor of some sorts to that consumers are not exploited while entrepreneurs earn profit from their trades. Features of a free market economy. As mentioned earlier, there are four different types of economies, each with its own unique characteristics. What are some of the key features of a market economy that makes it different from the rest? How are some of them? First, free market. It is a phrase that comes up quite often when speaking about trade and the economy in general. Most of the times we listen to experts talking about the need to have a free market. If the economy of a nation is to thrive, it is a key feature of this type of economy. But just what does it mean? When talking about a free market, we are referring to a business environment where the prices of products and services are controlled by the interaction between consumers and private business. The government does not act to fix these prices and its role is only limited to ensuring fair play to avoid customer consumer exploitation. The laws of demand and supply determine the cost of goods and service and not some other authority in a free market. No one person or even organization enjoys the monopoly of setting prices. In simple terms, in such a market, entrepreneurs trade in a business environment where they are allowed to operate freely but within the confines of the law. A free market is what really defines a market economy. It is the dominant feature that separates it from the other type of economics. Second, free price system. This is another important feature of a a market economy. The price of goods and services are determined by the forces of demand and supply. The resulting price is what guides the production and distribution of goods. Take this for example, vegetables that are seasonal are some expensive when they are out of season then when they are in season. This is because the supply is high when they are in season, and the opposite is also true. Forces of demand and supply work in such a way that when supply is high, demand and prices fall, and vice versa. This is because the produce is readily available to retailers, and obtaining them does not require a lot of resources. Farmers do not spend much in growing crops when the season is favorable as compared to when it is not. A free price system depends on these forces to attain value to a commodity or service. Third, unrestricted competition among private enterprises. In a market economy, private enterprises compete to the available business space as well as the customers. They can increase brand awareness through advertising, better product and service offering, and improved customer service. This unrestricted competition allows business to focus on product differentiation rather than increasing the value of production, because that is what will attract more consumers and increase sales. This healthy competition makes it possible for the most hard-working business people with the best strategies to thrive. It works to the advantage of consumers by improving the quality of products that they are sold. It is to be noted that unrestricted competition is only allowed when ethical tactics are used to win over consumers. The regulation and policies that are put in place by the government ensure that consumers do not fall victim to false advertising. Fourth, minimal government intervention. The government does really interface with trade in a market economy. It does not get involved unless it has to a scenario where the government can flex its muscles. In a free market, include cases of exploitation of consumers by enterprises. It does this by penalizing the business that do this, and also by introducing legislation to prevent future occurrences. Fifth, profit motive. One important aspect of a free market is that businesses are motivated by profit. A company will craft strategies to attract the highest possible number of consumers and generate maximum profit, while consumers will want to buy the best quality of products at the lowest of price. These are the dynamics of a market economy, and the success of a business is measured by how much profit it takes in. Retained profit are usually used as capital for expansion and business growth. Profit act as incentives that motivate firms to continue with business operation, because at the end of the day there is a reward for all the work that put in. Without reasonable profit, business would close shop, since it would not make sense to continue offering product and service. 6. Consumer freedom. In a free market, consumers have the right to choose with which business to engage with. They are not restricted to purchasing from a specific firm. The ability of different choice make it possible for this to happen. Enterprises must therefore act to convince consumers that they are the best option for them and provide incentives to retain them. It is this consumer sovereignty that pushes business to treat customers with decency, since they always have the freedom of choice. A customer can decide to walk away from your firm and deal with the competition, and that would put a dent in your business. 7. The power of information. Information is also a key feature in a free market. Business must use information to determine customers' needs and preferences, while at the same time consumers must make use of information to know the existence of a business and the best ones to buy from. There are different ways in which information is gathering by the different players in a free market. Customers can use the internet and social network to gather this information, while enterprises can use social intelligence strategies to know customers' preferences. A company must keep up with the current trends if it wants to succeed, because in free market, information is power. The ability for business to compete through product differentiation has made it necessary for them to know exactly what the consumers wants. These preferences change so rapidly, and with the right use of information and technology, a firm can stay ahead of the competition. Advantage of a market economy. When looking at the figures, we have come across some reason why this type of economy is good. We have seen how it can benefit the entrepreneurial customers and the government. There are some of its advantages. First, competition and business success. It's not bad to compete, because competition actually pushes us to break the glass ceiling and see how great we can become. When business compete, they thrive to become better by generating more revenue and realizing higher profits. An entrepreneur thus has the opportunity to expand his or her operations and achieve financial success. Without competition, they would be so complacent and would remain at the same financial position for a long time. A business owner would be so comfortable with the status quo that he or she would not see the need to push boundaries and grow. After all, what's to bother you when you are assured of your market space? This is the reason why business that compete on a national or global level perform better than those are the localized. Second, growth of the economy. The growth of a country economy depends on the growth of the private sector. It is not some work of magic that increase the gross domestic product of a nation, but the collective work of the private business. A free market promotes the growth of this sector, and with it is the thriving of a country economy that carries several benefits such as improved living standards, more employment opportunities, and higher life expenses. The easiest way to kill the economy of a country is to interfere with the free growth of enterprises. A market economy, therefore, is beneficial in imposing the economic outlook of a geographical region. Third, more investment by the private sector. Investors prefer market conditions where they are allowed to operate freely with minimum government interference. When such conditions exist, they are likely to invest more in the economy. As we have already seen, a thriving private sector is good for the economy of a country. Nations like the US have been thriving economically for such a long time because of a strong private sector. The realization of profit is such a good motivation that a lot of people will be willing to put in more work and reap the rewards. When more people opt to invest in the economy, higher growth is realized. 4. Consumer benefits. Consumers actually we have a lot to benefit from a free market, because businesses are competing to have the most number of consumers. They focus more on product differentiation, which is instrumental in ensuring that quality products are released into the market. Consumers therefore get value for money. Lack of monopoly also plays a key role in preventing the exploitation of consumers by businesses that are not experiencing any type of competition. The ease with which firms are able to enter the market and carve out a niche for themselves, make it a fair game. Consumers also have a lot of options to choose from and can still get quality products at the fairest of prices. When it comes to service delivery, a free market pushes firms to offer the best of service because that is what will help them stay in business. Look at what happen in sectors of the economy that are run purely by the government. The delivery of service is so pathetic, but people still opt for them because there are no other options. Privation makes it much better because of increasing competition. 5. Business operate freely, sense and productivity. A free market is beneficial to entrepreneurs because they can operate freely. Freedom is actually is good thing because it encourages productivity. People are more productive when they do things because they want and not because they are forced to do so. In a free economy, business operate with such freedom that they can thrive and grow way much faster than in a restricted economy. The ability to do business without unnecessary interference from the government triggers a chain reaction of great things such as increase in investment and a better performing economy. If you pay attention to what has been going on around the globe, you will realize that there has been a raging debate on whether government should place more restriction on certain business in the economy or allow for more freedom. Many experts have been vouching for freedom because that is what promotes growth. Putting price caps and having several restrictions in counterproductive. 6. A smaller variant of legalized fire. Less interference by the government means that business have the ability to operate in a fair trading environment. They can sell products as price determining by market force and get minimum incentives in the form of products. A smaller variant and realize fear is definitely good for the economy because entrepreneurs will not be afraid to invest. 7. Increase efficiency. Increased competition will give rise to increased efficiency. Firms will try to keep cost at a minimum and production high. Improved efficiency ensure that resources are not wasted and business focus more on streamlining their operations to make this possible. Disadvantage of a market economy. It's difficult to find a system that is completely perfect, even though we strive to achieve perfection. As time goes by and we learn from our failure and mistakes, there are still some areas that will always need adjustment. Here are some of the disadvantages of a market economy. First, poor working condition due to the need of higher products. Because entrepreneurs want to generate higher profits, they may compromise on the human resources just to increase their margins. This may lead to poor working condition and pay. A business owner may pay his or her workers below the minimum wage in a bid to increase profit. Some also have their workers working in deplorable conditions because spending money to have an ideal job environment would reduce their profits. It has resulted in the creation of entrepreneurs who will do anything to make more profits. Second, less social incentives. This is also brought about by the hunger for more money. Rolling out social incentives is seen to the eating into company profits, and that is not something not an entrepreneurs and who want to realize maximum profits would want. Social reasonability should be a moral issue for firms, but in a free market economy that is not something that a lot of companies focus on. Third, inequality. A market economy has always been referred to as a capitalist market. It favors the accumulation of wealth by individuals who have the opportunity to do so. This creates a state of inequality between the haves and the have-nots. Unequal distribution of wealth results in many social problems because those who are less privileged or poor will try to use unlawful ways to gain access to wealth. People are not born equal, and those who had a better foundation will always have a head start in such an economy. The more privileged in the society may also use their positions to trample on the right of the poor. Fourth, environment and pollution. When people are motivated by profits, they all pay less attention to how their action affect the environment. Business owners may engage in production activity that degrade the environment just to increase their profits. Without much government control, firms will not think about the consequences of their actions because after all it is a free market. Fifth, no chance for the small person, survival of the fitness. In such a market, the fairness with which enterprises compete makes it very difficult for a small business to thrive. It is a matter of survival of the fitness, and if you don't have the resources to compete, then you might as well close a shop. An already established business can do anything possible to run you out of business. Only the fittest will survive in the face of ruthless and cutthroat competition. Where then does that leave the small person who is only trying to make it? The answer is out of business. Six, economic disasters. Giving private business free region can result into economic meltdown on a global scale. Selfish action by some of the players in sectors of the economy may lead to a build-up of bad consequences. It has been seen time and again, especially in the financial sector, where profits are made at any possible cost, and this often results in economic disasters. 7. Excessive control of private entrepreneurs. Private entrepreneurs may exhibit monopolistic tendency by restriction output and driving up the cost of goods and service. Even without government input, there are still chances that some investors will create monopolies and exercise excessive control of some sector of the economy. The rise of cartels is a common phenomenon in a market economy. Conclusion: we have now looked at both the advantage and disadvantage of a market economy. From this, we have seen that it provides an avenue for wealth creation and allows entrepreneurs to proposal and have a better life. Everyone deserves a fair shot at success, and a market economy provides that. Again, like mentioned before, every system has its challenges. Nothing created by man is completely perfect, since there is always room for improvement. Despite the demerits that come with the free market, the advantages are many and can be built on to have a better and thriving economy. The government can enact relevant legislation that do not aim at controlling the market but provide policies that support transparency and limit criminal actions by companies. In this way, a system that supports economic growth and protects consumers is realized. It's also good to have an economy that rewards hard work, because that is what a market economy does. When all is said and done, having a free market would encourage entrepreneurs to invest more and as a result lead to improved free standards.